Hi everyone, today is my privilege to introduce Brien from ProjectLAB. Hi Brien. So Brien and I've known each other for many years, and ProjectLAB has grown into different types of services, and I thought it was a good idea to maybe have a catch up with you. And please, tell me, first of all, how's it going? Are you good?
Yeah, it's been a ride. We're around 10 years this year.
Wow, fantastic.
So it's a milestone for us. There's been a lot of changes from a directorship point of view and that sort of thing. So we bought our old partner out. He's moved to Qatar. So Ed and I are now at the wheel.
Okay.
But things are good. We've been very blessed through the season, and we've just. I think we've taken the industry to a sort of a new level, training people, teaching, especially trustees, on what should be done the correct way when it comes to projects, tenders, and that kind of thing. So it's been a journey.
Yeah, and in 10 years, it's a blink. But tell me, what kind of services are you guys offering now?
So the 10-year maintenance plan was the big one. We didn't start ProjectLAB on the 10-year maintenance plan. So CSOS came out with it, I forget how many years now.
Yeah, it's about 10 years, yeah.
And we were asked to do a sample of that report. And because our company, when we started this, we developed apps for ourselves. We thought, well, we could use the apps in order to, because we knew it was going to be something that have to be done quickly and efficiently. So, and if you're going to try and do something like that on a Word document, it becomes a shambles. So yes, we had to do something where our staff could be efficient and get these reports out quickly. So our whole 10-year plan structure is done on a phone. It's a data capturing app. People want to look at pictures, they don't want to read a whole bunch of writing. So it's photographic, it's in your face, so the trustees can see what the issues are. And that sort of developed into a product that we took it and said, this is a good product for trustees to know what is actually happening on your building. And then from there, we go into our other services. So the biggest difference between us and a lot of competitors out there is we don't just give a 2-page budget spreadsheet. It's about a 75 to 120 page photographic report, as well as the budget side of things. So I think the benefit to use ProjectLAB in that instance is if you're just getting a 2-page 10-year maintenance plan, that's what CSOS requires. However, if you're doing thousands of these and you're sitting in a meeting with a client and they're saying, well, how did you get these figures? And you can't remember. So I've got proof I was on site firstly, and a photographic report jogs your memory.
Yes.
So you start remembering the complex. So we just think it's a comprehensive way to say to the client, this is what you're getting product-wise for the money that you're spending.
Yes.
So it's a all-inclusive file that you get, as well as the actual budget sheets. And then from there, we've always run proper tenders. So that 10-year plan opens up opportunities for us. So if my guys are on site, a lot of the trustees box us into a 10-year maintenance plan company, and that's it. So we're trying to get people to understand that is not
but you also manage projects. I mean, that's your staple, isn't it?
Yes.
Although let's use 10-year maintenance and replacement plans as your entry.
Correct.
But then your staple is actually the management of projects, making sure that the right contractors are appointed,
yes,
reputable contractors, that you vetted, and you've gone through the process, and you know the thickness of paint, for instance, that needs to go on a wall, and that's your expertise.
Yes.
To make sure that the right people are appointed, you give guidance, and not only that, you then help our clients, your clients, to make sure that the right people are doing the job properly.
Yes. So we had to look at a strategy on, because we know there's going to be some clients that will say to us, why do we need ProjectLAB or another company similar to run a tender when we've got a portfolio manager? And to be fair to the portfolio manager, their job is not technical. So our role is to take and mitigate the risk for you, as well as the trustee who's looking to paint waterproof whatever the project is. And we had to work out a way. There's no ways you can send an exorbitant quote for a tender because the client's just going to push back to, we've got Whitfields. So we had to work a price that is affordable, that they're getting a proper service out of it, that it's not a major cash out of their bank, and the service that they get from that. So we call it a pivot product. Because I bring in a whole bunch of professionals with me, so we bring in the likes of a Dulux, a Plascon, a Prominent. I've got waterproofing specialists that I bring to that meeting. We've got a safety business, which we'll touch on. And then I have a quantity surveyor, qualified quantity surveyor, all for that same price. And then very important, like you touched on, my job throughout the years has been to vet various contractors. There's too many guys out there. There's a space for the smaller guys. But when you're looking at regulations on safety and that kind of thing, if it's a access-driven building, very difficult to bring Oom Jan, with respect to Oom Jan and his three guys. There's a lot of safety protocols. So we mitigate all that risk. The biggest problem we found, we were contractors as well. If you ask 10 guys to come quote on your building from the PM, those guys, they're just going to quote their own thing. So we bring it all together, and we try and get the guys to price apples for apples. So it's one specification, one document that the guys are pricing, and we measure the building.
And with that, just going back on the qualified contractors or qualified suppliers, let's use a Plascon, Dulux. Sure, they will provide a warranty on their paint, but they need to know that whoever's applying the paint knows what he's doing.
Correct.
And that's where you come in. You check and make sure that whoever's applying that paint is applying it in terms of specifications, which ensures that the warranties are provided and complied with by the manufacturer.
Yeah. So it's another service that we created. So 10 years ago we went to Dulux, and again 90% of my business is run on apps, and a lot of the guys previously to us, they're still using Word document, dictaphones, that kind of thing, and then it goes onto a cloud, and then somebody in the office has to now make do with what they have. My guys are on-site data capture. We get the report in 24 hours. It assists the contractor. If we find that there's a coating too thin and they've got scaffolding on site, they can get and fix it straight away. If you leave that for 2 or 3 weeks, the contractor is going to get annoyed because he has to bring his material back at his cost. So we work with the contractor, not against them. But those three brands at the moment, Dulux, Plascon, and Prominent, they employ us as a benefit to you guys at no cost to you. So they're saying we will employ independents to come and do physical quality checks on our products to make sure that the warranty that you're actually getting is worth something. Because right now you can get a piece of paper that says guarantee, and it means nothing.
Yes.
That company is closed.
Let's go back to the 10-year maintenance plan. You've seen others providing these plans. Your concerns in that regard?
I think it became, when this was released by CSOS, I think a lot of people saw it as a cash cow, easy money. We didn't look at it like that. We looked at it, there's a lot of work involved. So, I mean, just the site inspection itself from our side takes about 4 hours. The budget is where you have to start using your brain a bit. So anybody can look at a building, take some photographs and tell you what's wrong. And I've seen in the 10 years or 5 years it's been running, more and more companies are doing it, and not even companies. There's trustees trying it, chair people, contractors are doing it now because they've got relationships with those people. Well, we'll just give it a go. You pay for what you get. So I've seen guys charging 1,000 Rand, 1,500 Rand. But the point is they're only getting a 2-page budget spreadsheet because that's what you require. Ours is a lot more involved, and we've had to reduce costs over the years just to be competitive,
of course,
with the guys. So gone are the days where you could charge what you feel the product is actually worth.
But you still get value for money. I mean, your contract, like you said, 75 to 100 pages that you in terms of your report.
Correct.
It's not a 2-page Excel spreadsheet. It's a proper document and a file that can be used and updated throughout the years as well.
Yes.
A 10-year maintenance plan needs to be updated as projects are undertaken, and then you can update in that file as well. But the beauty is where ProjectLAB really comes to the fore is not only do you have the 10-year plan, you've got the people that you are able to manage and your expertise to make sure that they're doing their job properly as
Correct.
well, that you bring to the table.
Yeah. So I think
So holistic, all in one
Correct.
service.
I think the biggest flaw that the 10-year plan presents, which I try and explain to trustees when I meet them to discuss the plan, is that most of that is opinion based. So that's why a lot of these guys have jumped on board, because who's right, who's wrong. What we do that separates us, in my opinion, is that we take a qualified quantity surveyor to measure our 10-year plan areas. And because we run tenders, we know what the guys' rates are being charged. So ours is realistic in my view, but there's certain flaws in the actual budget that don't allow things to be put in. So like when you're doing a project, there's safety costs for the contractor, there's access costs like scaffolding and that kind of thing. There's P&Gs, which is their running costs. There's nowhere to put it in the 10-year maintenance plan. So I always believe, I say to the client, that's your start. When you're running projects, if we involve, we'll have physical figures from the contractors. When that job is finished, I always say to them, redo your photographic report so that matches what your building is saying live. And then we take the contractor's figures and we put it back into the 10-year plan. That's the most realistic you're ever going to get it. Because there's just too many guys putting numbers in there using a system, online system.
Thumb suck.
Correct. And we are construction experts, so we understand plaster, joints,
correct,
all those things.
So ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Brien, so much. It was great catching up. So ladies and gentlemen, give your relationship manager a call if you need to find out a bit more about ProjectLAB and all their services. I often say we as Whitfields, we might not know everything, but we know somebody that does.